I started doing this when I was 14. Never had like a real job. Like, I mean, I've had them. I've seen them. You know what I mean? I know that they're available. I know that they're out there, but they've never been for me. And by that, I mean I've gotten fired from everyone I've ever had. The best one was a sales job, and they called me into a room, and they pulled the shades down, like as if I was about to be murdered. And then they brought in this tiny old lady from HR, and she stood there while the boss told me I no longer work there, but they can't say you're fired. They have to dance around it. It was like a corporate thing. So they started with like, we just wanted to let you know that you are no longer employed with this company. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And they're like, well, we'll no longer be needing your services. And I'm like, no problem, so see you tomorrow. And they're like, I don't think you're getting it. We have to let you go. And I'm like, I don't need to go anywhere. I'm good right here. And I just wanted the guy, I don't know if any wrestling fans, but I wanted the guy to lose it and fire me like Vince McMahon used to fire. Yeah, like, you're fired. He used to yell it. I'm not going to do that. But what's that?
Do it.
Thank you, sir. The joy, like, I'm going to do it, but first I just want to tell you, I'll do it. I'll get back to that in a second. I just want to make mention the joy on this man's face when he said do it. It was as if he was at home getting ready for tonight, and he was asking his friends, like, hey, by any chance, do you think somebody's going to do like a Vince McMahon "you're fired" impression? And his buddy was probably like, dude, it's highly doubtful. I mean, Vince McMahon hasn't been on television in quite some time. He hasn't fired anybody publicly since like the early 2000s. I don't think we're gonna hear it. And this guy was like, well, I'll tell you right now, if there's even a chance of it, I want them to do it. And his buddy was like, well, I don't think it'll come up. And he's like, well, if it does, I'm telling whoever the fuck it is to do it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to hear about it. I want it done. And the level of joy on this man's face as I mentioned Vince McMahon, and then he sat up in his chair with the biggest smile I may have ever seen, like a child on Christmas getting what they've always wanted. Do it. Now, just for you, sir. Normally I wouldn't do this, because in the history of my time telling this story, nobody's ever demanded it be done. So this is a first. To anyone who doesn't know who Vince McMahon is or what is about to happen, I suggest you go home and look it up. Then it'll make more sense. These people are Googling it right now. I appreciate that. This guy was like, I am not waiting till I fucking get home to know who this guy is. I want to be in the moment. I want to be present for this thing. This guy's pulling out impressions he doesn't normally do. Who the fuck is it? Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE, used to be WWF until a panda defeated him, said, when... Thank you, sir. That was just for that guy, too. But Vince McMahon, the owner of the company, the real owner of a wrestling company, when he was going to fire somebody, he would do it publicly. It's actually hilarious when you think about it. But he would do it publicly in the ring, and he wouldn't just say, you're fired. He would yell it, and his face would get all red, and he would go, you're fired! Like that. Thank you for that, sir. I appreciate that. What's your name, my friend?
Aaron.
What do you do here?
I work in retail.
Are you like a salesman?
I'm like a manager.
I could tell by the way you told me to do it. This guy's used to being in charge. Can we give this guy a discount? Do it. What are you a manager of? Like what kind of place?
Zoomies, like a skateboard.
Zoomies? What is that? Clothing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Called is the brand name Zoomies, or are you selling something called a Zoomie? Skateboard? Oh, that nice. That makes sense. Zoomie. It sounds like how you would describe skateboarding to a fucking idiot. Which is brilliant if that's how they named it. Hey man, do you want this skateboard? What is that? It's a skateboard, you know? You get on it, you go. What? I've never seen anything like that. What does it do? You ride it. What? How? It says you get on Zoom. Fucking Zoomie. It's a fucking Zoomie. Do it. Just do it.